Hello guys, how are you? This is Ms. Farahtalat, your world history teacher, and this is a class for 9 Sat A and B. Today we're gonna continue and we will finish chapter number 18, which is Tang and Song Dynasties, the Golden Ages of China. So we're gonna go through this is class number 12, and we're gonna go through the last two pages, 203 and 204. So we were talking about the achievements of the Tang and the Song dynasties, and now we're going to talk about the technological advancements and how this led to make the Tang and the Song dynasties as a great and dynasties and as the golden ages, to be called as the golden ages of China. Okay, so the first technological advancement that they did sorry, was that they developed something called the mechanical water clock. This is the picture of it. It's so complicated. It's about creating a new system of clocks, just working with water. So they developed this mechanical water that. How does it work? It ran by by a series of interconnecting cogwheels powered by water. What is the meaning of this teacher? Do you know what is the cogwheel? Let me show you a picture of a cogwheel here. So this is the cogwheel, guys. Okay, this is the cogwheel, the one that in Arabic we call it اللي هي السمونة, or well, whatever. It's something help to elaborate something else, to make it the movement of it easy. So this is the cogwheel. So this one here, the mechanical water clock, it's about the cogwheels that it works how? By the power of water. So whenever they produce water, here, as you can see at the top of this clock, they put water and it go down, and then it reach the cogwheel. When the cogwheels start working and start moving, they will force the clock to move and to be like 1 o'clock, then later 2 o'clock, and that's it. So it's always steady and rotating. Why? Because the power of water is like continuous, and the movement of the cogwheel, because of the power of the water, it's continuously. So the first technological advancement, it's the mechanical water clock. Going to the next. Number two, that they invented the spinning wheel. Guys, we talked about China and how it was great by making the silk. And to make silk and to make any kind of yarn, you have to put it in a good shape, right? The yarn must be spun around around the bobbin. So it has to be in a good shape, and not like connected to each other and so on, or mixed to each other. So in order for them to make it spun around around bobbin in a good way, they had to use their hands, and it took a lot of time. But when they created something or invented something called spinning wheel, but the special thing about it here, which is with the foot paddle. If you looked at the second picture, you will see something that someone is putting pedal that someone is putting his foot on. So when they start moving it, they will force they will force this spinning or driver or whatever it is to move this wheel. They will force this wheel to start spinning, and when the wheel starts spinning, the wheel will take the yarn and spin it around the bobbin. So this will help you to create a good shape or a good yarn that you will use it later. So they will start using this, and it will be always rotating from the spinning of the wheel that it's attached to this band or to this bobbin. So they will start putting their foot on this pedals and use it to spin the wheel, and with this clockwise movement or motion, they will create a good shape of yarn. Going to the third one. invented gunpowder. Guys, gunpowder, the first time it was invented in China. And the first time they used this gunpowder, no other civilization knew what is this, but they used it for what? For fireworks only. Later, when the Song Dynasty came, they start using it for what? For weapons. So the first reason for inventing the gunpowder in China was only for using it for fireworks. Later, they start in the Song Dynasty, they start using it for weapons. So yes, gunpowder at that time only was found where? In China. Okay, next. World's first movable block printing press, and this is so important. At that time, guys, like in 1040, they used to do what? They used to write everything but using their hands. So there, at that time, there was a job that you only listen to what the emperor is saying and you have to write it down, or you have to listen to this writer and you have to write down whatever he's saying, like his books. And when they want to make another book, another copy of that book, they have to rewrite it using their hands. But then in 1040, something happened. The Chinese people created what? Movable block printing press. It's not like this shape, but this one is very close to them. So for example, let's imagine that the characteristics, each one of them is called characters. Let's imagine that each one of the characters, the Chinese characters, were here for this one. For this one, let's imagine that this is a page from a book. So they start curving the letters, or sorry, they start curving the words or the characters on the what? Onto the wooden block. After curving it, they will start using ink and they will start painting. They will start painting or putting ink above each character. Then they will use this movable block and they will print it on top of a paper. And again, when they want to make another copy, they just have to paint the characters again and print it. So this way was like, or it's considered at that time to be what? The most impressive accomplishment. Why? Because it produced, like, it gave them more time, and it gave them, like, they did not have to rewrite books, and it didn't take that much of effort. So it was the most incredible accomplishment for the Tang and Song dynasties, which is what? The world's first movable block printing press. It was at that time in 1040. Now, they also start developing not only technological advancements, they start developing what? Different techniques and medicine. So they start here taking care of medicine and medical issues. So the first thing that they did, that they developed, or they used what? Different kind of herbs, and they used it to cure sickness. And until nowadays in China, guys, the medical herbs, or they call it the Chinese medicine. It's all about herbs, and they believe in it in a very great way. And all of their like pills and medicine is all about herbs to cure sickness. And number two, they also developed what? An active acupuncture to relieve what? Pain and nausea. So they were the Tang and Song dynasty. They developed this one. We said that it starts in the Han dynasty, but here they developed this one to relieve pain. Going to number 6, from the achievements or the advancements, technological advancements, that they also took care of agriculture. How did they take care of agriculture or agricultural productivity? Because they said, if we took care of agriculture, we will have surplus food, and when we have surplus food, we will have more people, and when we will have more people, this means that we will have more power, and we will like we will go we will be more powerful in our dynasty. So to increase agriculture, they used what they used a new technique which is called the iron plows. As you can see, teacher, in the picture here, you can see that they used some kind of wood, then they connected with some kind of an iron in order for them to plant the ground in easy way, more easy way, to remove the sand or to remove anything from the way in an easy way. They do not have to use their hands anymore. And also they use the iron plows to do what? To harvest the crops in an easy way. Also, they use the what? Natural fertilizers. So um, here they used it like they used iron in the ground, and they used in a very good natural things to put it in the ground in order to make the crops better than before. Irrigation, how to water the plants, reservoirs, canals, water wheels, and discoveries. And they discovered something which is the fast ripening rice. What is the meaning of this? They discovered a way that the rice can, if you plant it and in a certain period of time you gathered it, harvest it, you can at the same year plant another time or another crop of rice, and then you can harvest it another. So this will allow you or help you to harvest two crops per year, and by doing this you will have a surplus of food, like surplus of rice, in a great way. So agriculture, because of iron plows, natural fertilizers, irrigations, reservoirs, canals, water wheels, and the two crops per year help to make the productivity of the agriculture to increase. Number seven, they created a new weapon or product a new weapon which calls the flamethrower. At that time, the first picture was the shape of the flame thrower in China, but later it became like this in our days. And because they had the gunpowder, they were the only people who were like knowing how to use it. They invented what? A magnetic compass that helped in long distance trade. So they invented this one, like the Han Dynasty also invented another one similar to it, but with another system of working. This magnetic compass helped them in their trading, for example, in the Silk Road or in the sea. Now, because all of the achievements, the population growth in China and resulted in what? In making China for the first time the most urbanized area in the world at that time and at its time. Because of the population, it's the most urbanized area in the world. What is the meaning of urbanized? Like people living in it. Okay, so because of that, because of this like famous thing or Song China's exclusiveness by being the most urbanized area in the world at that time, what happened? Another civilizations or culture around China, such as what Vietnam, Korea, and Japan, they start taking the Chinese culture and adopting the Chinese culture. What about the Chinese culture? They took the writing system. Yes, they were saying like talking in different language, but they had to learn how to write in the Chinese system in order for them to write everything down because of the movable printing press, the blocks, sorry. And also they took the form of government. Do you remember when we talk about Han and we talk about Confucius and we talk how they formed the government and how Wu Zetian, she reformed the Confucian or the Han governmental system? Yes, also they took the Vietnam, Korea, and Japan, they took the form of government and they took religion. They had many religions, and one of the religions that they took it from China, that China already took it from India, was Hinduism. Sorry, Buddhism. Okay. However, Vietnam, Korea, and Japan, yes, they took and adopted writing and the form of government and religion, but they changed some things in it, like little of things and models in it, in order to fit their already own culture. So they took just whatever they want from the Chinese culture. Going to the last thing, that in the 13th century, the Mongols led by Genghis Khan. So going back to the traditional enemy of China, whenever you will hear the Mongols, you will know that this is the end of the dynasty. So Mongols led by their leader Genghis Khan. He was the founder of the Mongols at that time. He put they put an end to the golden ages of the Tang and the Song Dynasty. How? By conquering China. So this is Genghis Khan, and he was the one who led the Mongols to put an end to the golden ages of China and to conquer it. That's it for today, guys. Next class, we are going to start with a new chapter, which is ancient Greece. So we're going out from China now, and we're going to Greece. So if you have any question, you are so welcome to ask me.